Good morning, good morning. Does anybody else go through a process, if you have multiple dolls, of deciding who you're gonna bring on camera next? It's a whole thing for me. And I don't know. Anyway, it's like this weird mix of who I haven't changed recently, which of course I changed her pretty recently, who I haven't shown recently, and which outfits I want to use. I'm sure that's not very unique, but we're going to change this beauty, even though she already looks perfect. So this is Cricket. Most of you know she is the Luise sculpt by Karola Wegerich. She's painted by Yvonne Nather of HBN Art Dolls. She's fairly new to my collection, and she is just a stunning, stunning doll. I wonder, does anybody ever get in their head about your collection, your dolls, and which ones are more of interest, I guess, to your viewers or your subscribers? It's like an unconscious thing for me that I feel runs underneath the surface. I swear a newborn diaper is like kind of just barely fit her. She must have some booty on her. Also, if you're one of us who doesn't get a whole lot of time to spend with your dolls, do you ever feel like, oh, the question went right out of my head. Do you ever feel like you should have a lifestyle that accommodates more interaction with the dolls in order to, like, this isn't exactly what I mean to ask, but to accommodate the dolls in order to, like, deserve the dolls? Or maybe it's more like sometimes I'm going to sleep or I wake up and I'm just like, what am I doing with these dolls? I don't really have much time for them anyway. Which is ridiculous because they're there when you want them, right? I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. This is a size newborn. This whole set is from Wannabes, and it's size newborn, and she's swimming in it, which I actually like, that loose look, especially on a little baby like this. I mean, she's definitely true newborn. She's not preemie size. Well, we say that based on doll standards, I think, because in real life, preemie has to do with the term through which they're carried, and not the look at her, and not the necessarily the measurement, I think. I mean, as far as I know. So actually, this set also has pants, but they're definitely not going to work for her, because look at that. These are newborn. Holy smokes. They literally come up to her shoulders. Okay, so we're going to skip those, and actually I put this underneath just so she could have the pink ribbing, because we're going to put the long sleeve on top. And this is the only time I've ever seen this brand. This set actually came home to me with Sparrow. And I think I've used the bib and this overshirt. I don't think I've used the rest of it, which is probably why I was so surprised by how big the pants were. I don't think I've ever tried them. So this is a really cute kimono top. I feel like she should have some socks or something for her little legs, her little feet. Yeah, wow, this onesie is so big on her. It's causing all this like bulkiness in the shoulders. But then the sleeves are not very long on the kimono, so it's interesting the proportions, the sizes, all from the same set. What do we have for socks? I have white socks with like frilly pink, but it's a little bit, they're different fabric, you know. So maybe just these white ones. These white ones. Since those are big, that'll sort of go along. Yeah, I definitely don't stock up on socks and footwear. See, these are the ones with the pink, but that's a bit much. That'll work. I definitely recommend this sculpt. If you are thinking about it or curious about, you know, how great the Luise sculpt is, I can tell you that she's really detailed. Every doll, every sculptor seems to have a different set of proportions. I had the Peanut sculpt by Priscilla Lopez. And in my opinion, her arms were thin and her hands were very small in comparison to the size of her head. But then again, a newborn typically has a large head. I think it's a similar thing for the Sunny sculpt. She has very tiny hands. But then, I mean, babies are tiny. It's just sometimes it's so difficult to even imagine how tiny they are. So she's got this owl hat. Oh yeah, she is just perfect. Love her. She's amazing. Well, that's her ensemble, guys. For those of you that have been commenting on my videos, I continue to apologize for very minimal responses to your comments and just hearts. I know some people feel kind of like shafted by that. Not necessarily, nobody's ever said anything to me, but I do know that sometimes, and I've been on the other side of it, where you follow and you comment thoughtfully, and then you get a heart and it feels like dismissive. I just want to speak for myself and say that it's so not dismissive. It literally is the fact that I'll be between things, or on a quick break at work at my desk, and I'll take a look and I want to acknowledge it, but it's just not an appropriate time to respond, and then just life keeps going. It's definitely not dismissive or a lack of appreciation or anything like that. I'm just staring at her. Oh, I have another question. So, has anybody out there ever been so totally in love with a sculpt and had it be so difficult to find, and then you finally find it and then it's everywhere? Or you find a baby that you've never seen before, and by the time it gets to you, it's everywhere. And does that affect you? I remember back in high school or middle school even, that feeling of liking something until it's popular and then dropping it because it's not popular. My best friend growing up, her brother was a huge REM fan, and I remember that he was like a huge REM fan, and then like massive, and then when REM got really big, he criticized them for the style of music they started doing and that they were sellouts. I remember in middle school, high school, I was wearing bell bottoms. I think I even had some that used to be my mom's, and then they came back into style, and I was like, nah, not interested anymore. And it's interesting to watch my reaction with dolls. Like, part of me worries. So the baby that I have that will be created soon, I'm anticipating coming home sometime in the fall at this point. I searched and searched and wanted this sculpt, and the blankets are almost impossible to find. And like through the process, and as I got close and as I secured a custom, they popped up. They just started popping up more and more and more. I talked about this before, yes, because I remember asking if artists hold kits and wait for like that second surge of popularity, or exactly why that happens. And I certainly don't think that I pick dolls based on the reaction that's going to be on my channel. I really don't feel like I do. But then this other part of me feels like I'm going to be flooding the feeds with more of the same doll, which is silly because I am buying the doll for myself. And I don't think that I'm sick of looking at the sculpt, but I get scared, especially with a custom, you guys, because you have it out there. It's like this pending thing, and you haven't seen it. You don't know how long it's going to take sometimes. You don't know if you're going to love the final product, which I know I will. I mean, I've taken every step to make sure that I will, based on, obviously my love of the kit and the artist that it will be doing the work. And also there are sculpts that are very popular that I never get tired of looking at, but there's still this part of me that's like, nah, am I over it? Should I sell my spot and do something else? I think I would regret it though, because it was such a dream kit of mine to have, so it's like you should see it through. Anyway, just sharing my crazy all over the place thoughts, I guess. I put Sparrow into a sleeper last night because I started getting, I don't know, like, I've had these thoughts pop in my head of selling her, which is nuts, a couple times, and I was thinking about what's driving that, and I think part of it is, I think I needed to put her in some more structured clothes for a little bit, right? Because that super soft silicone, which is amazing and I love, her arms just flop back and flop over, and I was thinking it didn't seem like that used to always be the case, but then it wasn't summertime, so she had on long sleeves and stuff like that, which kind of helped to minimize that. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I guess just because that's what's going on. So I put her into a sleeper and just made her a little baby and spent a little bit of time with her, and which was very beneficial. I think that's part of the danger of not having a lot of time to spend with the dolls too. You separate from the enjoyment of it, and maybe you don't always remember how much enjoyment you get out of it until you're able to spend a little bit more time. So as you create that distance, you disconnect a little bit, and then it's like becomes more feasible to imagine parting. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I'll just sell them all and do something else, and then I'm nutso about them again. So somehow I think it has to do with the odd combination of it being a collection but also being that emotional thing, because I really doubt that people who collect model trains or model cars, or even the little collectible porcelain figurines, or there's like these Christmas shop weird little felt plush scenery dolls. I don't think they just get sick of them and sell, they just acquire. So I think it's a little bit different because of the nature of this hobby. Anyway, that's about that. So, got lots to do today, so I'm going to go do all of that stuff and hopefully get it all done today. Oh my gosh, she is so realistic. Yeah, she's gorgeous. Okay, guys, I think that's it for me right now. I could make videos with you all day, but I'm going to be responsible. We are sending out lots of love, as always, to you guys, and look forward to being back soon and hearing from all of you. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you have a great week, and bye for now.